Yo, what's going on, everybody? Drew over at Team Future Strategy coming at you with a quick little video about Final Fantasy XIV and what Yoshi-P has had to say about the recent changes to the MMORPG landscape. So, as you can see on my screen, Final Fantasy XIV director wants fans to stop attacking World of Warcraft. It's the wrong conversation to have, director Naoki Yoshida says. So, recently, obviously, World of Warcraft is in a downward trend. Final Fantasy XIV is in an upward trend. We get that. But one of the things that Yoshi-P has done a great job of doing is making sure not to attack his main competitor, I guess is the best way to say that. So a couple of excerpts I want to bring out from here. Yoshi-P isn't in the mood to celebrate, even with Final Fantasy XIV's new influence. In fact, he would prefer that fans stop making negative comparisons between the two, calling claims that Final Fantasy XIV has successfully claimed the MMORPG crown irritating. Now, I'm going to post a link down in the description of a 2-minute video. You can see it up here. A 2-minute video of a recent stream that Yoshi-P was on that is translated if you turn on the subtitles, where he talks about what's changed. So one of the big things he says is the hard work we've been putting into Final Fantasy XIV did pay off. And for anyone who isn't overly new to it, if you know anything about my history, I have played it off and on since early Heaven's Ward, and then Stormblood, and then early Shadowsbringer. So I've been around. It hasn't been my main game up until a few months ago, but it's been a game that's been successful. Obviously, we know how 2.0 came about and everything that they've done. And they've continued to A, strive to make it better, and B, use WoW as an example of what they do well and utilizing that within their systems. But this whole conversation about surpassing WoW is the wrong conversation to have, and it's honestly irritating. It's true. That's not what he's looking for. That's not the goal. Do you want your game to be popular? Absolutely. Do you want it to be critically acclaimed? Absolutely. But you don't want to do it as, we're doing this to be the WoW killer. This was never the intention. If it was the WoW killer 10 years ago when it came out, or 8 years ago, however long it was 2014, I think, 13 when the 2.0 came out, 2010 when the initial came out. This has been a long time. It's not like came out of nowhere. It's not New World where it's a brand new game out of nowhere and hopefully we can contest. He goes on to say, Yoshida says Final Fantasy XIV owes WoW a debt of gratitude, noting that A Realm Reborn wouldn't exist without Blizzard's long-standing MMORPG. You think about A Realm Reborn, 2013, when did Cataclysm come out? 2010. So, that being said, when World of Warcraft completely changed the landscape of their actual in-game, you could definitely say that A Realm Reborn went that route, and that is a huge influence on that situation because they completely destroyed the world. What they did really well is then utilizing that event in the lore of the game. I think that is fantastic, and WoW has continued to do well. The fact that, WoW's dying. No, it's not dying. Yes, people are leaving and or trying other things because it is stale. That does not mean it is dying. He also says that he takes many cues from Blizzard in building 14 as a game that it is today. This one really hit me. WoW was the game we constantly looked up to. It was. He had his employees playing the game. It's great that they play the game so that they can figure out what works and what doesn't work. Instead of having people that look down and go, what are our retention metrics? That's not a good way to build a game. Yoshi-P expressed gratitude for 14's recent surge in concurrent players in anticipation for the Endwalker expansion, calling it kind of scary. But he also said there's no way that Final Fantasy XIV could ever match the 12 million paid subscribers that WoW enjoyed at its peak, likening it to Mount Everest. Paid subscribers is not indicative of a game successful. There are plenty of people who don't cancel their subscriptions but don't play. So I think this is something good to address because obviously we've seen a huge influx of players. The servers have been getting bad. Login times have been tough, but I think it's great that Yoshi-P, a direct competitor of this game, doesn't want his community to say the wrong things. He finds it irritating that everyone's like, oh, we win. There's been multiple videos of other content creators who are like, it's very interesting to see players who aren't in the content creation space to go onto Twitch for say and see concurrent viewers at the time, and it's like Asmongold's playing Final Fantasy 14. All of a sudden, that's at the top of the list. Now he's moved to New World just to try that out. Oh, Final Fantasy's dead. That's not how this works. You know, unfortunately, there isn't any website or any metric system out there to kind of show us actual numbers. And numbers are held pretty tight to the chest for most of these companies. Rightfully so. I kind of get it. But it's interesting to see exactly, you know, his thought process and how he wants to make sure that people don't trash another video game that he has looked at for so much inspiration. Really shows you, because he used to play a lot. I'm pretty sure he still plays. And, you know, he really likes WoW, and he attributes WoW to a lot of its success. And I think it's great. It really shows you that, like, he understands where the MMO genre kind of kicked off and how he wants to emulate and therefore innovate and try to make it a little bit better. So that's going to be it for this video. Do me a favor, if you like or dislike the video, hit one of those buttons down below for me. If you want to see more of these videos, make sure you hit that subscribe notification, and we will see you next time. Take care, everybody. I'm Drew from Future Strategy Gaming. Peace out.